So tell me, what are you seeing? Let's get back to some of these questions that we did tee
Sure.
up, and not to stay too off, not off topic, but on these fun questions that I'm interested in asking. But one of the questions that we talked about was, what are you seeing if somebody is in escrow and their money has already gone hard? So you've already talked
Yeah.
about, you've touched on that, but drill down. I know you've got a few points that you wanted to mention on that.
Yeah. So this is a really interesting situation, right? I mean, we had sort of leading up to this, I had a client with 4 active deals, going gung ho, 2 different lenders, equity partners, right? And this has obviously hit all of these participants. So we've seen everything from, buyers in escrow, and if they're not past their contingency period, I think most buyers are just, pulling out and waiting to see what happens. But once you've gone hard, again, where, making all these arguments of force majeure, temporary taking, common law provisions of, impracticality, frustration of purpose. So it's really become kind of a letter writing campaign and crafting arguments to figure out how you can, and not all buyers, right, want to get out. Some want a price reduction, some want to extend the escrow period 60 or 90 days. And absolutely, again, it depends on the asset class. I think you won't find any buyers who are going into a hotel deal who want to do anything but just get out of the deal. Whereas on the multifamily side or self-storage or, in other asset classes we deal with, that's not the case. And in some of these deals, the banks are the ones who are coming in, banks or debt funds, lenders are coming in and retrading, upping the interest rate, demanding more longer, interest reserves. So that then affects the borrower and how they need to react, and the seller also, maybe the seller's in a 1031 exchange. So these are all, different permutations of things that we're seeing. But certainly there's anything from help me get out of escrow to, we need 90 additional days or a price reduction or any combination of those.
It's interesting that you say that banks are the ones that you're finding are retrading, particularly as interest rates are historically almost not quite as low as they could possibly go. You would think actually that this was a very good time to borrow. Tell me what that's all about. Are they trying to get out of these deals by doing that, or are they profiteering?
No, I mean, I think the banks are skittish like anybody else. And, the banks are pricing the risk into the market. And the first thing they would do is put in a floor on LIBOR, so that doesn't run away. But then, they would use all of these same arguments to say, look, your interest rate was at, 3 something, but in order for us to do this deal, like this happened to us, the banks went up to 5%. This is a non-agency bank, not Fannie or Freddie deal. And again, it's also very much happening with the non-bank lenders, right? The debt funds who are running out of money.
That's interesting.
Ways. Yeah.
Peter, though, but it's interesting that you say that, because it seems to me that either the situation is so dire that you don't want to do the deal, right? That it's, let's just stop and wait. But to increase the price it's a different approach. Are you building risk into it? Because is that what's happening? I mean, it's taking a larger spread, or is it we're going to try and put this so out of reach that you back out? We really don't want to do this, but we're not going to say that.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we certainly have had lenders, and actually one of the deals, two of the deals had the same equity partner. And the equity partner did just say, we're out. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just hitting pause. I do think from the bank side, unless you're one of these debt funds who's out of money or something, I do think it's about risk. And I think the banks, at least so far from what I've seen, they want to do deals. And there is still liquidity, but it's, a slightly different profile, right?